Greetings. I am Legacy Moon, and this is True Crime and Mysteries. Welcome back, all my current subscribers. Welcome back if you've been here before and you're just coming to peek in on me again. And welcome to all my first-time visitors. Well, unless you're under a rock or just haven't been on the YouTube streets today, you would know that something is going on at the International House of Convict and Prayers. So you've got the lady over there, and she's doing an interview with Nesto and his coach. Now, I would be very surprised if his attorney approved this, because if she did and she's aware of this, then she really is a piss poor attorney. There is no way I would authorize what is going on right now. And the reason why I decided to stop recording and pretty much stop listening is because I don't intend to put the interview up on the channel. Now, if phone calls from prison happens to get this call and post it, I'll listen to it. But other than that, I'm not even, you can hear it in the background, but we're not going to focus on that right now. We're going to focus on the lies, the explanations, I should say. So for starters, he is trying to say that he did not buy this computer. He bought it, but he kind of indirectly bought it. Now, I believe he was trying to say that Shirley bought it because he had maxed out his card for the day and couldn't use it anymore. So he had to get the money from Shirley to buy this computer, and that he didn't have anything to do with anything that's on it. He also said that computer was used amongst many people in all of his many businesses. But see, let's go back and, maybe I'll try to track the call. But do you remember when he had a conversation with Shirley about this computer where he tried to say it always stayed on the kitchen counter and I forgot wherever else, so it's evolved from that to multiple people using it. So that's what's going on with that. But I want to focus on one thing for a minute. And I'm going to tell you why I decided to not post the video. I don't like what's going on. I think it's a fine and dangerous line that's being walked right now by all of this. I do not think, like I said, if Hannah knows about this interview or not, if she approved it, then she's a piss poor attorney, and he would not. I mean, I don't know how many of you watch 48 Hours, 20, 60 Minutes, but anytime a criminal who's not been convicted of a crime, anytime he speaks to the media, he always has his attorney there. So I just find all of this a bit strange. But I'm going to go back to, I want to focus on the victim for right now, because we've heard a lot of things about the young grape victim, and we've heard him spin tales. Oh, he didn't know her that well. Oh, he's known the family for 40 years. Oh, now he's friends with the dad. And I think he even told Dre last night, or I might have even heard it just now, not too long ago, that he and the girl's father were friends. He also let us know that the young lady's mother was pimping her out. Okay. You're talking yourself right into, it looks like to me, another charge. Because you're saying, first, you don't know her. Oh, I know her father. Oh, I know her family. Oh, well, her mother, she's a criminal. And she was pimping her out. All of these things. But no matter any which way you slice it, you're there. One way or the other, whether she was pimped out by a parent or whether you were the only one pimping her out or whatever happened, the center of the story still lies with you. I didn't like that. I was getting very pissed off. And I don't know if I said this already, but this is one of the reasons I'm not posting this on my channel, because to me, there is a fine line being walked here from between the interviewer, the coach, and the defendant. And I just think that it shouldn't be crossed, and I'm not going to put it up. Now, if Phone Calls from Prison gets the call and decides to release it or whatever, I'll listen to it. But other than that, there's just not, that to me, this is very wrong and very unethical. And from what I could see, he's digging a hole for himself. Now, Sonia is on there. I mean, it was to the point where she was trying to ask a question. So the interviewer was trying to ask a question, and Nesto couldn't answer it because Sonia kept butting in. And when Sylvia said something, I'm trying to ask Nesto, Sonia made it plain, look, I'll hang up on all of y'all. So this is very troubling. Now, Sonia always wants to say this man is fighting for his freedom. This man is digging a hole. Now, I also want to, while I was torturing myself listening to this, I decided I would look up Detective Fields because they keep bringing her up. Nesto keeps saying that she made well, first it was, I'm sure you remember the phone call, I think between him and Dre, where he said that she made lieutenant. Now it's just detective, off of him. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of a police force, but I know about working for the state, the government, and all of those things. And what I'm going to say is, it would seem to me that Detective Fields would get promoted if he's convicted, or once he's convicted, if that's how she got promoted, let alone, not on her experience. But if this is how Detective Fields got her promotion, he's not convicted. So who's going to jump the gun and promote her for getting this criminal off the street? Or for that matter, who is Nesto? He's nobody. He's not anybody other than a criminal. He's nobody that anybody can make a career off of. I mean, I could see if it was El Chapo Guzman or John Gotti, as Nesto likes to compare himself to, but making detective off of some little small town hustler who likes to allegedly pimp out women and essay women, who's getting promoted on that? So anyway, while this farce was going on, I decided to look up Detective Fields, and I'm going to read to you exactly what I see on her. And she's, of course, a detective of special investigations in Roswell Police Department. She is, according to her LinkedIn page, she is an experienced investigator specializing in human trafficking, vice, and fraud. Natalie holds an extensive understanding of criminal procedures, undercover operations, and management of resources, and seize of illicit property. Proven track record of collaborating with colleagues and industry professionals for effective investigation and case prosecution. Known for solving complex problems with ease, monitoring peers, and inspiring those around her. Proactive in seeking continuous training and education to enhance her knowledge base. Now that's her LinkedIn page. And then when you go further down, you see She's been with the Roswell Police Department for 2 years and 11 months. She was, it looks like, promoted to Special Investigations Detective on January 2023. And let's see, she was a she was a patrol officer from June 2021 to January 2023. So just in looking at her resume, I mean, it looks like she earned it. And she might have been, on that track before he even got arrested. Now, his theory on him making detective off of him is that when she talked to him, she had on a uniform. Well, there are sergeants, lieutenants, all kinds of things in the police department who sometimes wear their police uniform. So I don't know what he's talking about and why any of this matters. And he says why her name is on all the paperwork. Because she was the one doing the investigation. That's why her name would be on all of the paperwork. But, they spent some time on that. Now, there were people, and this is the funny part. Now, I was in there for like about 45 minutes, and I only saw 2 members. I don't know if some of the mods are members, but I know as far as green in the chat, there were only 2 people. And no, wait a minute, it might have been 3. But what I did notice is, okay, you're saying you're going to do these Nesto things exclusively and behind the paywall. How come I can hear this? You don't have this behind your in your members. And furthermore, if I had a channel and I'm interviewing someone and the people in the chat have a question, I would be putting forth the questions asked by paying members. And then anybody else, if I'm able to get around to it. I'm just saying that's just how I'd operate. If you pay for something, I believe you should be delivered a service. And there was one member asking the same question over and over again, and she got ignored. There was also another woman in there who she kept asking the question. And I mean, she must have kept typing it back to back to back because every third chat, you know what I'm talking, you know what I mean, was her asking the question, which was, is he going to publicly apologize for Shirley or to Shirley? My thing with that was, well, gee, he says he's an innocent man. Why would he apologize? But, of course, that question never got asked. So then, I don't know. I think now one of Sylvia's fan favorites who loves to be in her chat and loves to leave nasty comments in mine. She was in there and she was pretty much like instructing Sylvia how to address things and what to do during this interview. And I was dumbfounded. This person who rides hard for her in my comment section isn't even a member over there. And bitch, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't come knocking on my door again. This is not a threat. I'm just saying I'm not what you want. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, you might sit up over in her chat and tell her what to do, but you're not going to come over in my comment section and tell me what I'm going to do and disparage other content creators. I'm going to get to her later. But anyway, back to this mess. Now, they said that they were going to, he wants to tell his side of the story. His side's not getting out, and he's just going to tell it. Because if he doesn't clear his own self, nobody's going to clear him. His lawyers, the courts, nobody's helping him. And then, of course, all of the judges, the prosecutors, and the defense attorneys, everybody's friends. They all play golf together. I don't know how he would know, but this is what he's saying. Here again, these are not the kind of accusations that you want to make if you're sitting in Cobb County where you've been for almost 2 years. You might want to watch that kind of talk, but that is what he was saying. And he's just being set up. So questions were being asked about Erica. And he kind of danced around it because somebody was asking in the chat, how were you, you're saying you've never been to that house before. You were right there in the room with Erica when she was on Zoom, acting as his attorney. Well, before he could say anything, he started talking, but before he could even get it all the way out, Sonia stops him and says, he can't talk about the case. Okay, but he's talking about the victims. He's talking about the police officer involved in the case. He's then talked about the lawyers, his public defender. He's talked about all of these things pertaining to the case, but he can't answer that Erica question because he doesn't have anything. He doesn't want to talk about the case. And, Sonia further went on with her explanation of how he didn't know her for 20 consecutive years is what she was trying to say. But, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. They were committing crimes together. That's why he won't answer a lot of questions that is directed to him about Erica. So, Sonia is, she's over there, her and her buddy are over there sending him down a wrong road as far as I'm concerned. And Sylvia is now letting us know that, he wants to talk because he's getting tired of all this stuff being spread about him. Okay. And here's what his other legal counsel is also saying. She was saying that, you can't just bring forth charges with no evidence. And she's right. You can't. But what she's not understanding is that, here's the example she gave. They said he was going to run off to Dubai. They have to prove that he has a house there. No, they don't. He doesn't have to have a house there. He could be running off to Dubai to get away. He might know somebody there with a house. But my point in saying this was that here again, his co-counsel is up there giving bad advice too. And then also, of course, his co-counsel is saying, if God, him speaking out, if God is putting this, basically is what she's saying, if God is putting this on his heart to speak out, he has to follow the will of God. Let me stop. Another point that came up was Nesto feeling like his car and all of that shouldn't have been seized because they were supposed to have a body-only warrant. And I thought, okay. I kind of know what that is, but let me go to my friend Google to see if I know what I'm talking about. Now, bench warrants are typically used in criminal cases for failure to appear or comply with court orders, while body attachments are primarily used in civil matters. So once I read that, I thought, okay, now I understand why they keep harping on this being a body. It should have been a body warrant because, Sonia says all of this is civil. So now I know why he keeps using that specific term, body warrant. Now, also, once a warrant is issued and entered into the system, you have to be picked up by the police in order to clear the warrant. So what he's saying is that only he should have been taken in and none of his property should have been seized. Well, I know that It's from what I can recall that was being told to us from the last hearing. Every time they did something, they got a warrant. And Officer Fields stated that she knew, she was told that like he does all of his business and kept everything in his car. So it seems to me she would have gotten warrants. She wouldn't just take it. So that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But like I said, I know where he's getting that from. Now, the teacher that is a victim, he's saying that what Nesto is saying is that he does a lot of business with a lot of people. And people don't like to wait for business to be concluded. They want stuff when they want it and not when it's available. And, that's how the white folks do their business. And black people pretty much won't wait. And he's saying that the school teacher jumped the gun and she said she was going to report her car stolen. And he doesn't understand that because he knows that she has a sick son. And if you can remember the phone call, we know what is wrong with her son. So he even left her with one of his chargers. Now, according to what I've always learned, it was the ambulance. And when she tried to leave to take her son to school, the ambulance broke down. And then he also said that she was tired of teaching and she wanted to come work for him. And, all of that would have been straightened out in time. This is his story. Now, the real estate agent, to be honest, I'm not going to lie, I don't even remember what he said about her. But here again, it's taking the story and watering it down to make it sound like it's in his favor. But you're clearly saying what you did was wrong. And here's my thing. If I give you my property or whatever, you're going to sell my car. You can't say, well, I'm going to give you the money when I can or when the business is concluded. If my car is sold, why isn't our business concluded? But like I said, this is his theory and not mine. Also, he also kind of, and this is when I kind of started doing something else. So my focus wasn't on, but he was also trying to say that, was it Holden Dodge? I don't know, wherever the car repair thing happened and the bad check with that. He was trying to say he had already worked something out with those people. Now, I'm going to tell you what I know. I happened to be on somebody's channel, and I don't even know who it was, and I don't know how I got on there. But I remember her saying that she knew the people who owned that place. And they didn't even want to talk about him. They were like, She said the one guy came out of his office. When he heard the name, he turned and went right back in. He didn't want any parts of it. So it seems to me, if there was a deal that had been worked out, why would these people still have a problem with him? And when he's also saying that when the grandmother or the aunt, I can't remember who, got picked up in the car, that was just a misunderstanding. And it wasn't a stolen car. This is what he's selling over there. And then, after that, I had it. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to know the true facts of everything until the trial. And we're not going to get anything from him but lies. He did talk about the alleged rape, but I don't want to get into that. I'm sure this will still be up on Sylvia's channel, but like I said, I don't want to put this on my channel because something just doesn't seem right with it. And I could just tell you guys, just the bullet points, as Sonia likes to say, or you guys can go listen to it. I just gave you a little bit of breakdown. I didn't go in order to how the call was going, but I'm just kind of letting you know the things that I did hear and the things that stood out. So, yeah, and Sonia also mentioned, I don't know if I said this already, how she is getting the call so that Sylvia could put him out first, so that phone calls from prison can't do it. But what they don't understand is people are going to go and listen to phone calls from prison. Nobody's going to sit through the way that show is running over there. Nobody's going to sit through. That's why I lost patience. I just didn't have the patience. I ain't going to lie. I didn't have the patience. The lies were just because those lies that are going on now aren't the same lies that I heard the other day on a phone call. So I got to work on my patience is what I got to do. But yeah, so it's over there, and that's the synopsis of what went on. And I don't know. I can't tell anybody how to run their business or their channel, but I wouldn't even get that call. I wouldn't bother to get it and release it. But that's me. And because that's, Sonia said she can request it like she been requesting the other ones. Oh, and the last thing I'm going to leave you with is Sonia saying that phone calls from prison is reckless over there because there was a conversation that her and Nesto had about a victim, and that phone call shouldn't have been released. Not her and Nesto shouldn't have been talking about the victim. It was that call. She shouldn't have released that call. That was just reckless. Why? Why is it reckless? And how does that differ from him sitting on here now talking about all of the victims? That makes no sense in my Nesto voice. But, she would rather for somebody legitimate like her friend over there to release the calls. But to me, they're all playing a dangerous game, and I'm just going to listen, report what I can, and mind my business because this could not have been sanctioned by his lawyer. Not at all. So anyway, that is all I have for you. Once again, I'm Legacy Moon. And if you are not subscribed, let your fingers do the walking. Go up to that subscribe button, hit it, and tap the notification bell so you'll know when I do my next video. Also, if you wouldn't mind, please hit that thumbs up button and keep me in the rhythm of alg.